If you've ever felt too intuitive, too awake, too curious for the life you're living, you might just be one of us.
Yes, welcome to Midlife with Mystics and Misfits, where we talk about intuition, reinvention, and the beautiful curiosity and chaos of becoming who you truly are. I'm Cece.
And I'm Jen.
Hi, beauty.
Hi. Okay, mystic or misfit, what are ya?
Oh, I was I was mystic all day and then clamored into misfit, and now we're back on mystic again.
A little blip and we're back.
We're back. We're back and we're bad. Yes, we're
No,
good.
what happened? What happened? What happened?
Well, I'm gonna tie it into our truth or spell. And first are you
Okay.
mystic or misfit?
Today I am misfitty.
Oh,
Yeah,
I,
I'm misfit. Yesterday was a whole different story. I went to yoga and I was like the Tasmanian devil. Like I literally was like walked in with
mm,
1 minute to spare. I was in a mediumship class and I was literally running in. And as I came out 2 hours later, the women, all of them that work there and the people who were in the class were like, you should feel your energy shift. It was completely like,
woosah.
and so today's been kind of one of those very forgetful, what was I saying? I walk into a room, forget why I'm there. So I feel like a bit
Yes.
misfitty today. That's me. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. So that ties into my misfitty too, kind of. So we're gonna
Okay.
do truth or spell first. This one's a
Okay.
good one this time. This
Okay.
one's not gonna make anyone feel like they're using the wrong words. So I'm gonna talk about the word sanctuary.
Sanctuary. Okay.
Sanctuary.
Yeah.
So, even back in the old Latin times, sanctuary meant a sacred place that was protected. And it's still the same today. Because when we talk about our sanctuary, right, our living sanctuary is our home or
Yes.
our car or wherever we're at. That is your sacred space that is protected, right?
Correct. Yes.
So that's going to lead me into my story.
Okay.
So, uh,
Okay. Okay.
it'll be a quick story.
Yeah.
I was mystic today, so I was like kitchen witch all day today. I pickled 5 jars of refrigerator pickles. I pickled jalapenos today. I was
Mm.
grooving. I was moving. I was in my vibe. I cleaned my house. I washed my floors. I was in such a good state like all day. So I was like super mysticky like all day. I even put my pickles in that outside. So like I infused them with sunlight before I put them in the fridge. Like I was into it. And I
Yeah.
was like so high that I ignored one of my own basic rules is when I'm home by myself, I don't answer the goddamn door.
Uh,
I don't answer the door.
yep.
Well, I got my music grooving and I hear a knock and then I hear the doorbell ring and I went to the door. And I open, and not only did I go to the door, I opened the door and I opened the door wide. And here there is this big Russian man standing outside of my door with a vest on. And he's got some partner who is now entering my backyard. And I know nothing of what is going on. And
Oh,
he tells me he's from Telus. He's got no badges on. He's got no nothing other than a clipboard with a piece of paper that says "Tell us" at the top, which, I mean, whatever. It could be anything and it could be nothing. But my spidey senses, as soon as I did it, I was like, oh, like I was like, I just opened the barrier to my own sanctuary, my very own like protection rule of not doing that. And it
wow.
threw me, and it threw me. It completely threw me, like completely. And it was like, honestly, what you were talking about, a little bit of brain fog,
Yeah.
I must have had like a brain fart of between the kitchen and the door to do
Right.
that,
Right.
right? So, long story short, made me a little bit unnerved. I ended up going in the backyard. They ended up leaving quickly after. There was some weird conversation that they, to me, they just didn't seem like Telus people. They probably were. They're probably third party people. But the whole interaction, because of the like having a brain fart and then missing my own boundary of my own sanctuary, like protecting my own sanctuary,
Yeah.
um, it just threw me. So I went into misfit mode because I was like, oh my God. Da, 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 right. Then the stories start playing in your head of all the things that could have went wrong that didn't go wrong and everything else. So Yeah, so that's my story. That's my brain my brain fog, my brain fart, whatever you wanna call it. And
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody else can relate on doing something like that, but for me, that was like a big, "Oh, fuck,"
right.
moment.
Well, the first thing that comes in my head is A, fear, and it's so sad that women have to live with that kind of feeling.
Yes.
I mean, even when we're walking down the street, whether you're in your sanctuary or you're out in the world, like, to be walking down
Yeah.
the street and you feel a presence around you, and, the fact that, you feel like you have to cross the road, or it really makes me angry that I go
I
to fear.
yeah,
It
I know.
makes me
Me
angry.
too, it makes me angry too, and it makes
Yeah,
me yeah, it makes me angry that that even is a like, a possibility. And it wasn't a fact that he was a big Russian man because there's lots
yeah,
of lovely Russian people out there,
yeah,
but it
yeah.
was just the fact that I had my own brain fart of, "This is what I normally commit to," and I
Mm.
broke it.
Right.
Like, broke it for myself, so
Do you think it's just because you were in such a wonderful space
I was in
and
such a
just
good flowy mood and, like,
yeah,
I was just flowing from thing to thing to thing, and the doorbell was the next thing, so I didn't even think twice about it,
yeah. So, well, I'm
right?
glad it worked out. I'm glad it's okay, but yeah, that moment of realization of your intuition
Mm,
going, "Wait, this doesn't feel right." Rather, because we're gonna cross boundaries or allow people to cross boundaries sometimes, like, we're human, right? We're gonna
yeah,
try
exactly.
to play the situation, and sometimes we don't think, right? Sometimes we're just in such a state of love and peace and harmony and balance that we're just like,
Absolutely.
why
Or,
would anything ever go wrong? You could say. Um,
or midlife scatterbrain.
well, yeah, because we were talking about how we're feeling and where we're at,
Yeah,
earlier, and it just feels like, um, these are the symptoms of midlife, right? Especially
yeah,
this brain fog. It is not. You're not the only one. You know how many times I've called you, like, in tears, like, I cannot stand whatever is happening, and I need some help fixing.
right?
What do I do?
Seriously.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a joke when I say I've walked into the room and I've literally completely forgot why I've walked in,
I've done
or
it 100,000 times already.
right? And or mid-sentence and we're like, "Oh, wait, what was I saying?" You know
Oh my god, thank God I'm not the only one. I do that all the time. I'll have a conversation with Chris, and all of a sudden I'll be like,
uh,
"Wait, what were we
wait,
what was I just talking about?
what
What
was
were we just saying?" And he's
it's so
like,
funny. And that never used to happen to me.
"Yeah, no.
Yeah,
It's,
it didn't happen.
ye yeah, I mean, I don't know the scientific pieces behind that other than
Mm,
that because our hormones and everything else are changing, that brain chemistry obviously changes as well. So
right.
what have you done I think our episode today for everybody who's listening is gonna be like things that have worked for Jen and I with
Mm,
things that we've been dealing with. So hopefully it helps some other people too out there. And we'd love to hear in the comments what's worked for you.
right.
Right.
And if we don't touch on something that's been changing or a symptom of the midlife changes, we wanna
Hmm.
know about it. Put it in
Yeah,
the comments. Yeah.
men or women. It doesn't
Yes.
matter.
Yes. So what have I done for brain fog? Well, uh, before HRT, because I
Yes.
eventually had to succumb
Right.
to something I really didn't want to. Um, but I couldn't live with it anymore. And it was mainly for the lack of sleep and the brain fog that I decided to try.
Mhm.
HRT, for those of you who don't know, is hormone replacement therapy. So I'm on
Yes.
estrogen. It's just like this pump, and I just put it on my arms. I do one pump on each arm or the inner part of my legs, the inner thighs, and a
Right.
progesterone pill. So
Nice.
I'm looking at and through a naturopath, I'm looking at a more natural version of this. But
Mhm.
right now, I've given it 3 months, and I see. I mean, realistically, I do see a huge difference in my brain fog. But before that, I was doing things like getting outside more because grounding and being outside has a way of clearing the cobwebs, it felt to me.
Absolutely.
Yoga was a really good centering, with meditation was a very good centering part for me with breath work too. Um, there wasn't really many herbs that I found that were, I mean, I didn't do melatonin or any kind of, like to help sleep, which would then maybe help the brain fog,
Right.
right? Because it like
Right.
I tried obviously nutrition, like lots of
Mhm.
protein, but
Yes.
the shift that I had with it, because I struggled with this for almost a year before going on and deciding to try HRT,
Mhm.
um, was recognizing that, um, my body maybe was trying to tell me that multitasking and all the things that were running through my head, maybe it was time for me to like write a list and let it go or
Yeah.
slow down and just just stop taking on so much that I would have to multitask and um but look, like even like thinking about it, I'm like, what was I doing? Like I don't
I love
remember.
it.
Yeah.
I think that's
So
gonna be so relatable. It's gonna be
yeah.
so relatable.
Yeah, what about you? What do you do? Like, because we can look back like you did with the whole episode today and, beat yourself up or, go, why did I do that? I crossed my own boundary. And, you could look at it from
Yeah.
that perspective. But what have you done to work on that kind of forgetful brain fog stuff?
Well, I know when I've got good higher fats in my body, like when I've got
Mm.
higher higher amounts of coconut oil or higher amounts of beef tallow or like anything that's a really good fat, I find my brain functions way better. So I find I don't get brain foggy as much when my good fats are higher.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that I've done. Am I good at it all the time? No. I mean, who is, right?
Right.
Um, for the I and then meditation. Meditation for me for that too was a good grounding, like recentering back on
Mm.
getting your brain to come back to focus, basically. And the other thing is just not beating yourself up about it. Like I have a sense of humor about it. Like, I don't know how many
Yes.
times I've walked 4 feet, like 4 feet into the kitchen for something from the living room, and I'm like, I'll turn to Chris and be like, "What the frick did I come in here for?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Well, apparently I don't know either, so I'm just gonna go do something else now because why bother beat yourself up over the fact that you had that, right?" So, playing with yourself a little bit and giving yourself some grace and some humor around it instead of crucifying yourself for something that's just I think it just happens.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I mean, I'm laughing because I mean, so many people I've heard that struggle with the brain fog part of it.
Mhm.
And we laugh and even my kids will, I'll have to retrace my steps because I'll be like, what did I want down here again? What did I come to the basement for? They're like, I don't know, mom. And so I'll have to come back to the kitchen and be like, oh yeah, I need coffee and I'll head back downstairs. But I think I just had another a memory pop up of trying the omegas, fish
Yes.
oils.
Yeah, good
So when
fats.
you said fats, I was like, ooh, I
Yes.
did do the omegas too, and
Yes.
it all helped. Absolutely, it did.
For sure.
Um,
Well, our
but it
brain
was
brain is like our brain is mostly fat.
yeah.
So, right? And it is known to shrink as we age, so it's good to keep it plump.
Yes. And I think
Right?
it's like you said, like I don't know the entire science behind it either, but obviously that huge depletion of estrogen that is now non-existent almost in our bodies is
Yes.
the reason for it. So,
One of my favorite ways to get those like high omegas um and the fats is actually it's mackerel. And
oh,
I yeah, it's like in like cancer or sardines. Sardines are great. Mackerel's
yeah,
higher though in all of
yeah,
it. So
yeah.
uh, we get that often, and I really enjoy that, but not everybody enjoys fish, so
Yeah.
right.
Okay. Okay. So what other um differences do you feel in your body since we've kind of hit this midlife stage? What else are you kind of experiencing?
Oh, well, I know I don't think we had it on our, like, things that we were gonna talk about, but the hot and cold episodes that I'm either
Um,
so bakingly hot or
yeah.
I'm so cold, and
Yes.
it's almost nowhere in between. So I'm like, what am I and usually what helps me is black cohosh, and I've talked about that before. Black cohosh is usually the thing that settles out hot flashes, and they're not like hot flashes in a way of like like you hear women who are like they're sweating, profusely sweating, and like their mattress is wet and like everything's wet. It's not like that. It's just like this big wave of a flush of heat that
Right.
happens, and I think I'm probably lucky I'm not in the stage of like having to change the sheets every single morning. But oh my god, but the hot cold is absolutely driving me insane. So far I haven't found the regimen that is working quite yet for that.
Okay.
Not yet, but black cohosh did work. So, I might try evening primrose oil because I've heard that that's really good too. I haven't done a ton of research on that one yet, but I've heard that it is really good.
I ordered some of that and I put it in one of the lotions that I made. And I
Ooh.
have to say that I've never experienced hot flashes. I mean, there's been a couple
Oh,
of times,
God bless you.
yes, knock on wood,
Oh my god.
but I do have that in this lotion that I use all the time. So
So
maybe,
maybe that helps. Well, here's what's
maybe.
funny, and here's something I did not know about midlife is men are also susceptible to hot flashes. Did you know that?
No,
Yeah,
I didn't.
it's called andropause. They go through we go through menopause, they go through something called andropause. So the last time Chris was home and
Yeah.
I was hot flashing the whole time. Well, this
Yeah.
boy, I don't know if he was just being sympathetic, but this man started to do the same thing. And he was like so unnervingly rattled by it. He's like, "What is going on?" And I'm like, "Welcome to a woman's world."
Welcome.
Yeah, so I had to sit and research because I'm like, "Is there something wrong with them? Like, what's
Yeah.
happening?" And it's like,
Yeah.
"No, it can be totally normal when same thing, our estrogen dips, their testosterone dips." Like, how
Yeah.
crazy is that?
Yeah. And it's so interesting because, um, let's be honest, we hear about a lot more masculine issues than women's issues. So I'm surprised that we haven't heard of that. Well,
I know. I don't
I
think
haven't.
I bet you it's probably not really talked about,
No. Yeah. They don't
right?
want to talk about their sweaty nights.
No. No, no, exactly. What they're gonna tell their wives are hot flashing. I'm lucky enough that we talk about everything, so it's
Uh,
good that way, right? But so
yeah.
that I had talked to him because he had come, like all herbs, and I think I've talked about this. You're not supposed to stay on herbs all the time. So if
Yeah.
you start an herb, you need to come off of it. I usually do like 4 weeks on and a week off, depending on what it is. Sometimes it's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, that kind of thing. So which will lead me into like the next um herb, if you want to call it an herb, tincture that I want to talk about, which is pine pollen, because pine pollen for men increases testosterone levels a
Mm,
lot. Chris had been on it. He had been on it on and off for quite a bit, and then he went off of it because guys are guys. And I was like, I think now is the time. If you're getting hot flashes, it's probably the time to get back on your pine pollen. And he did, and as soon as he did, and he had it in him a few days, I could tell his testosterone levels went up. He was like, he had more energy and everything else, but women also need testosterone.
right.
Their testosterone levels are very important during, perimenopause and menopause.
Yeah.
Pine pollen for me also works. So if I get off of it too long, I find, um, same thing, I'll get more fatigued, um, it just adds extra energy to the day. It
Mm,
adds extra libido too. I mean, Chris and I have never had a problem in that area, but it adds like a significant amount more. So if you're needing libido help, women or men, pine pollen is absolutely incredible for that. Like, it's so
Okay.
good.
And that is another thing that sometimes I haven't experienced it again, but it feels like, I've heard many women going through this midlife where they have vaginal dryness or they have low libido, and it's something that, um I mean, even to the point of pain,
Yeah,
it's quite interesting with the atrophy of the removal of estrogen and what it does to the atrophy of the vagina, right? It's
yeah.
completely,
It
yeah,
can be well, I've heard it can be completely scary, so, yeah, how it's wild. So, pine pollen's amazing for a bunch of things. We're not telling you to take any of this stuff, we're just telling you what works for us. You can go research it, do
yeah.
your research on it, and check it out, but it does help in a lot of different areas for a lot of different things.
Now, one of the biggest things that I struggled with, and then just actually went through another bout of it, and well, I just told you I had a bladder infection. I haven't had
Right.
one in about 8 or 9 months,
What
and
was the
so
first thing I said to you?
yeah, I was like, "Oh my god," and then I started bleeding, and I was
Oh,
bleeding for
no!
almost, yes, and I was bleeding for over a month again, and I was like, "Okay." So, I was like, and I mean, I obviously had ovulated, and I was like, "I was almost done." Like, I was almost the year to the day. So, one of the biggest things that I struggled with was the previous time it was almost 6 months of bleeding every day,
Wow.
from spotting to heavy. Like, it
Wow.
was quite insane, and finally, I went to an herbalist because I was like, "I don't know what I have to do," and she said, well, first of all, after all the blood work and stuff, she literally helped me so much. So, for those of you who don't do this, CC is a guru in all of these herbs and all of this, and
My
so
passion.
reach out to her and ask her. So I went to a woman that's here and I said, "Here's my blood work. What do I do? Because I can't deal with this anymore." And
Right.
so she said, "Well, she doesn't recommend supplements. That's the difference between an herbalist and a naturopath, right?"
Right.
She said, "I want you to go on iron. You need to because of you were so I was so anemic at
God,
the time."
yeah.
And so tired. And she said, which is part of the next problem was sleep, but we'll get to that. And so she said, I need you to get your stores back up. And then she also made me a tea, and that tea, which is what she hand concocted with all of her herbs for whatever was going on and what I needed to work on. Um,
Yes.
Within literally a week, I had stopped bleeding.
Wow.
And then I ran out of the tea because I took it day, morning, and night on an empty stomach, and then I ran out, and within 3 days, I started bleeding again, and I was like, I
My
called all the,
gosh.
"Hey, Patrizia, I need 2 more bags of that tea." Like, I was not,
Wow.
yeah, so once this happened after about a month of this, I was like, "Oh my god, why aren't I taking this tea?" Again, as soon as I took the tea, within a week, I was back to it was just, and it just shows you the power of herbs. Would it have stopped anyway? Maybe the first time, but then the second time, and now again, now with the third time, I'm like,
Yeah.
exactly at that timing, sure, I could also win the lottery, right? Like,
Yeah.
some people would say that's coincidence. I don't think that it is, and that's my feeling around it. But
Right.
yeah, so that was something that was one thing that absolutely helps. But I was getting bladder infections, I was getting BV, I was getting
What's BV for people who don't know what BV is?
bacterial vaginosis.
There you go.
And you will know instantly that you have it, because it's rotten. Like, you will know. You'll be like, "What is that smell?"
Yeah. Right?
Say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, but it's the bladder infections for me. Like, I was like, "How is this happening again?" So, yeah, I don't know, if anybody, but I literally had back to back to back to back to back. So I'm really hoping we're not starting this again,
Yeah.
this cycle, but man,
And you said you started to use boron vaginal suppositories
Yes. So
that
borax,
help,
that's right.
right? That helps all that stuff too. Did you start back on that or did you forget?
I ordered it, but because the tea worked with the blood, and then I did take antibiotics with this bladder infection, and
Yeah,
so now I'm gonna start with this moving forward because that's what I found. So you need antibiotics for BV and for bladder infection, and I was getting yeast infections because, again, maybe because I literally would kill all the good gut bacteria from the blood
right,
from the antibiotics, maybe this is
right.
why I was getting, yeast infections. Whatever
It's
the
like
signal. Yeah,
it's like one big cycle that starts and then
yeah.
it keeps
I
going.
couldn't stop.
I don't think you're alone in that either.
No.
I hear
And
a
so
lot
once
of
I
from
got
a lot of women.
these from Amazon,
Yeah.
and it was a man who told me that this had happened to his wife in this phase of midlife. And he
Mhm.
said, and I was like, it's a suppository. And I do what? And I was like, sold. Because then I literally stopped going. And that is what eventually, with the tea, the
Yeah.
herbs, completely, and I was doing a lot of like kefir and a lot of really good flora growing probiotic foods,
Right.
rich foods,
Yeah.
like sauerkraut and things like that.
Yeah.
And once I got everything back under control, that whenever I could feel the slightest yeast infection or bladder infection or BV, I literally a couple of those, a couple of nights, and it would be completely, my pH would return and it would be completely
Well,
normal.
it's such a crazy thing that no women know about. Like I did a bunch of research on it. It's so crazy that women do not know that how life-saving this is. Honestly, it rebalances the pH down there.
Yep.
It provides it helps with lubrication, right? Your body's natural way to be lubricated, which is a
Yep.
big deal come midlife. It helps with so many things. So women out there, if you have not heard of it, tried it, or seen it, even if you don't need it, go research it. They're
Mhm.
called boron vaginal suppositories.
Yes.
You'll thank us later.
Yeah, honestly, life changing.
Life
Life changing.
changing. Yeah, because I've even used them since you told me about them. Even I've used them a few times, and I'm like, I can't believe the difference. Like, it's
Even when
so
you're getting
crazy.
that, little itchy, I mean, and we all know, sorry, men, it's true. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And different
Sorry, not
stages,
sorry.
right? Different stages of our cycle, right?
Yeah,
Women, we know different weeks, we have different issues going on. And it
100%.
literally just it balances like a pool. You balance it all out, and I mean, women used to douche. I never douched, but
No, I
and they
never
used
did
to
either.
clear, like, because this is what we were trying to do, is clear stuff up, right? Things that
Yeah,
would little before anything major happened. You're like, well, something is
yeah,
off. That
exactly.
instant will clear that right up. So do your research if you're interested in trying it out. Can't hurt.
Yeah, exactly. No, it
Can't hurt.
can't hurt.
No,
No,
no.
it can't hurt. Not
Mm-mm.
at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, night and day difference.
Huge. Yeah.
Um, what's the other thing? Sleep. Sleep's another thing.
Oh my God. Sleep. Everybody who knew me for a year was like, "Have you slept yet?" I was like, "Don't talk to me."
Right? I think that's gonna be very, very prevalent too,
Yeah.
right? Very, very prevalent. There's a couple things with sleep. I'll go if you don't mind, I'll go first.
Yes. Go, go.
All right, sleep. There's a few things because it started to happen to me last year, and with Chris's schedule too, we are often not getting full night sleeps. Anyways, so it doesn't matter. So I started to when I started to like, because I'm like, what is it about the fact that we need 8 hours sleep and when we don't get it, it wrecks us? Like,
Mm,
what is that? So I started to do a bunch of research into sleep patterns. And it was so interesting. One of the things that I found out, which helped me mentally, it actually like completely calmed my nervous system down, is hundreds of years ago, sleep patterns were you went to bed as early as possible, right? Like sundown, basically. You slept for about 4 hours. And then because of the lifestyle back then, you had to get up in the middle of the night and you had to tend to your animals and you had to tend to the things that
Children.
needed, yeah, children, the things that needed
Yeah.
tending to. So there was about a 2 to 3 hour window where most people were up anyways, and then they go back to bed until sunrise. So the history of sleep is people have never gotten full night sleeps up until the Industrial Revolution came around, and it was like school and everything else, and it was like 8 hours of this, 8 hours of that, and if you didn't get it, you were told that something's wrong with you. So I don't think that something's wrong with any of us. I think as we grow through this transition, we're naturally coming back to cycles of other things that we didn't know about. So that's one thing, is mentally understanding that we did this a really long time ago as a human race, right? So that was kind of cool. The other thing, one of the big herbs besides hops that helped was valerian root for me.
Mm.
And in my younger years, I I couldn't even stand the smell of valerian root, but when I needed it for help, I could put that under my tongue with no problem. Smell didn't bother me, no nothing. My body was just like, "Give it to me."
It
And
needed it. It
it
knew
needed
what it
it.
needed. Yes.
It intuitively knew what it needed. And then I paired that with magnesium biglycinate, so that was a big help.
Mm.
Um, so when I started doing that, I was getting like 8, 9 hour sleeps, and I was like, "Whoa, this is super cool." But
Yeah.
same thing, it's cyclical, so it only works for so long because your body gets adjusted to it, and then it's like, we need to do something else. So then I added hops in. Hops was another one. So if you haven't looked up hops, ladies, look up hops. I can't say enough about it for the nervous system, your brain, and like sleep, all of it. And then I just found out that glycine, which is an amino acid, which I literally just started last night, is it helps you sleep, but it's a muscle recovery, and it's a precursor to collagen production. So it's really good to take glycine in our day and age, like in our age frame.
Right.
In midlife, glycine is something that really your body needs as support. So you take it for some people, apparently for some people, it might keep them up at night. So you have to kind of play with it and see what happens. But for
Mm.
a lot of people, from all the research that I've done, a lot of people, it like after night 3 of having it, they're knocked out for the night. So I'm kind of
Okay.
excited. My last night, it wasn't like that. I had a bad sleep last night, but it
Right.
wasn't from the glycine. It was just because of the night it was.
Right.
So those are 3 things now that I will try together and see what happens with the
The
magic.
hops, the glycine, and the
I'll alternate between the magnesium biglycinate at night and then the valerian root.
oh, Revlon. Okay, yeah,
Or
yeah.
maybe I'll try all 4 and see what happens. I
Just
might
get
not.
it all in, yeah.
Maybe I won't wake up till next Tuesday. I don't know, but as everyone who doesn't get, a full night's sleep, sometimes a full night's sleep is exactly what you want.
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
me. That's what I've done for sleep. What about you? Have you had sleeping
Wow.
problems?
Oh, I did not sleep for again, like, that was my biggest thing because I thought that that was the base or the foundation of all the other things that I was kind of struggling with. Um,
Oh,
so you sent me hops, which was,
yes.
it absolutely worked for me in terms of getting sleep. Again, I tried being more physical, more active, shutting off screens, before, did it all have a place and did it all work a little bit? But I agree with you. This whole, like, wake up at 3 a.m. for a couple of hours nonsense. It was something that was just still prevalent. So I would go to bed, I would stay asleep, and then again, right like clockwork, 3 a.m., I'm up. And I do remember reading and, like you just said, the psychological part of knowing that, when we had our young babies, the babies were up at the witching hour, right? So we were up breastfeeding or, feeding the baby at,
All of it.
yeah. So the psychological part of knowing that this is part of our evolution helped. It did. But I couldn't oh, you know what I tried for a while that seemed successful, but it just wouldn't agree with me was black seed oil.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
tried it and it didn't, it just It just didn't, I didn't know if maybe I had a little bit of an allergic reaction to it. It just kind
It's
of
not for
didn't make,
everybody.
yeah, it didn't. And that's the best part about herbs, right? Or tinctures or whatever. And I bought a really high quality one and I tried it. I gave it it almost made me feel like sick to my stomach. It gave me anxiety. It didn't fit with
It
my
didn't.
constitution.
Nope.
And
Nope. Not
so I
everything works
stopped
for
taking it.
everybody.
Right. And then I stopped and I felt a little better, like in terms of, life. And then I was like, let me give this a try again and see if that's actually what it was. And as soon
Mhm.
as I took it again, my body was like, huh? Nope. Like I couldn't, I couldn't.
Love that.
It knew. It was like, don't do it. You didn't listen to us the first time.
Oh my god. That's so
Oh,
funny.
yeah. So, I mean, it does taste bad. It wasn't the taste. It was my body's
No.
reaction
You and I
to,
had the same one. Yeah, it was gross.
yeah, yeah, it was bad. But at some point I was like, I just need sleep. So nothing really worked. Until I got on HRD, and I don't want to
Isn't that
keep pushing it.
funny?
It's crazy
Yeah.
the what just even synthetic estrogen and progesterone, what it has done to help my body feel normal. And I think if
Mm.
we can kind of get to the foundation of it, because I had the same feeling when I got rid of my thyroid. I
Mm.
remember crying for days afterwards just because I felt so not self, so not like
Right.
me. And so
Yeah.
when we're going through this, part of, yeah, we are all dealing with symptoms, right? We're all kind of struggling with our own not self.
Yeah.
And they're uncomfortable. Of course
Yeah.
they are. Um, but it's just not feeling the energy that, like, and all of the symptoms are making you feel like this pile of crap. And you're just like, I just want to feel like myself. And so I think that for me is the biggest thing of, I can deal with not self. I've learned with my thyroid, I will never feel like
Yeah.
that girl did thyroid removal. But what I can do is I can get used to this slowly, this new version of me. And
Right.
when it came so fast and so quick, I was like, oh my God.
You said your girls and everybody were like, "What the heck's going on with you?"
Oh, I legit went crazy. I was like, that's it. I think I've told you this. I was like, like legit in all seriousness, I'm selling my home. I'm quitting my job. I'm
Right.
going to
Yeah,
just,
you're gonna blow up your life.
I was blowing up my life. I was not, and I just kept saying to everybody, I'm not adulting very well, but I'm really going to do this. And I was like, girls, you can just go live with your dad. It's okay. I love you. I like, they're still traumatized. They're still like, mama, mama,
Aw.
don't leave us, mama.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I've had a little bit of apologizing to do.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Um,
at least they got to see what is coming up for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Right.
and all these adolescents and big hormones in the same house, God help us.
Yeah, I know, that's what I said. I'm like, "Oh, man, God needs to bless you big time to have 2 girls." Uh,
And
Crazy.
I know it's so insane. So, what about you? Any other symptoms, any other major things that are kind of
What are some
struggling, changing?
My anxiety for a while was off the
Mm,
charts. Back, December, January, I think. So my cycle's been shifting since January. I'm
yeah.
2 months out again. So I think
Mhm.
maybe you and I shifted places. Thanks for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, right, but my anxiety levels between probably December and January, maybe even February, were just off the charts. I was having panic attacks and anxiety attacks and things that I had never experienced before, and they were frightening. They were so frightening to go from sitting being completely calm to being in a panic attack where like I would like walk around the house. I would try to hide it from Chris at first. And then I'm like, I can't hide this. I can't do it. I can't do it. I need to go sit
Yeah.
like next to him and I need to tell him what's going on because I don't know what's going on and I don't even know what I'm feeling. Like it was so bizarre.
Yeah.
So the one thing that ended up helping with that was ashwagandha for me.
Okay.
Another thing, I need people to research that because it's not for everybody. So for some people, it creates more anxiety,
Hmm.
which is insane. But for me, it literally just shut off all the chatter and it shut off all that anxiety and it stopped it. And then I would get, even with that, I would take it at night and I would have very beautiful sleeps with it. And then I had tried it for sleep to help with sleep, I think about a month ago. And when I woke up in the morning, I was anxiety. So it worked the opposite. It ended up doing the opposite because my body didn't need it. So I think if your body needs it, it'll use it. And if your body doesn't need it, it's going to create other things that are going to go on. And one of the things that I always try to do, and I don't always remember, but I always try to talk and intentionalize with any plant, anything, because, uh, I mean, they're plants, right? It's energy. Energy is energy. So, I notice if with herbs, if I don't set an intention before I take them, anything can happen. Like anything can happen. So I'm very cognitive of setting intentions when I'm working with plants of any kind. But yeah, anxiety for me was huge. What about you? Have you experienced that?
Not not that I can remember that was overwhelming. I know that worry is absolutely, but I think there was a normal level, or it was within the normal. I wasn't having panic attacks, you know?
Yeah.
But one of the things before I go to the next one, my last major one was one of the biggest things that you taught me was the exact same thing you just said about herbs in terms of, um, you know, listen to your body because your body will know if it wants or needs it, right? And
Yes.
so taking something, and if it just doesn't agree or sit well, then
Or you're
it's
doing it just to do it.
right. It's not for you, right? So
No.
listen to what your body, like you are the most knowledgeable person about your body. Even a medicine that a doctor gives me, I'm constantly like, how do I feel taking this, right?
Yeah.
And so what works for one may not work for another.
That
Um,
goes with everything. I think
yes.
that's maybe something we can sit and expand on maybe just for a couple of minutes is the most of us, I think by the time we've hit midlife, I think most of us did have not had a great relationship with our bodies throughout our life for one reason or another. You wanted to be super thin, super fit, super whatever. And with that came a lot of other stuff that pulled us out of a relationship with our body because it was all now superficial, it was surface, it was whatever the case was. So we're getting back into the stage of everything's shifting, everything's changing. So now our relationship with our body really needs to come back to be like center of being in connection with your body that way, exactly like you just said.
Yeah.
And I mean that goes for the food that you put in you and everything else. If we're not feeling into all of this stuff, then we create that discord between us and whatever it is we're taking. Because I know for a long time, even in my younger years, I would take like every herb under the sun, I would take all the vitamins and everything else. I didn't have a relationship with any of it. It was because somebody said, "Go take it," because it's supposed to be good for you, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
your body, when you start to talk to it and you start to bring back a relationship with it, will let you know
Yeah.
exactly what you said, what is right and what is good.
I'm feeling so overwhelmed, like overwhelmingly sad actually right now as you say that because
Oh,
it's
tough.
so sad that what you just said is true for me. And then I'm like, I don't know if I'm, I'm just going to take it for me because it feels like it's so bigger, so much bigger than me. And I'm like thinking about my girls and my students and my friends and my
Oh,
family. And,
I
and
love
I'm like,
you.
we as, and I'm just going to speak from a woman's perspective, at least women in my circles. Um, we don't. Like, how often have you looked at a picture from when you were, and I have pictures of, and I remember the night, and I'll look at that picture and I'll be like, I remember feeling so uncomfortable in that outfit, or like I didn't like the way my hair was, or I thought my puffy belly was a little
Yes.
bit. And I'm like, now I look back and go, my God, you're a smoke show, right?
Right?
Like, and so this is the thing, like, if only I could go back, and I can't. So what I'm really consciously trying to teach my children, but also myself, is that we're never going to have another day or another moment just like this. We're going
No.
to be older, we're going to be more out of shape, we're going to be more um you know
We're
uh
gonna be softer. We're gonna be
softer. Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
it's gonna be different.
yeah,
It'll absolutely be
yeah.
different. And the thing is, the one thing I noticed is when as I've started to build a relationship with my body, and it's just been since like January that I've made this decision not to be at war with myself. One of the things that I've really noticed is, um, oh, see, brain fog, gone. I had a whole thing I was gonna say, and right out the damn window.
Yeah, it's okay.
Jesus.
It will come back. Don't worry. And just interrupt me, because then you'll be like, I'm.
Oh my god. I don't even. But I know it
Don't
was
worry.
around the relationship with the body. It's
Yeah.
you look at yourself differently. Like I was in the change room yesterday. I was trying on some clothes because it's my birthday next week, and I was like,
Yep.
I need some cotton shit because I'm getting hot every day. I need some really good cotton stuff.
God,
I need cotton.
no more polyester.
No, no, I don't. I am no longer owning anything plastic.
Yeah,
There's nothing
yeah,
plastic in my
yeah,
wardrobe. So
yeah.
I was at Winners, and oddly enough, I mean, they had tons and tons and tons of cotton stuff. And because I'm building this relationship with myself, normally I would not go and try stuff on because I know I would feel like nothing was going to fit. And this time I just picked out anything and everything I possibly could, and I went and I spent an hour in the dressing room. And some of the stuff I got to laugh at. And some of the stuff I was like, ooh, I didn't, wow. Like,
Look at me.
right?
Hello.
Even though, like, a year and a half ago, me would have cringed. Now I was like, because I'm in conversation with my body differently, everything just seemed to be different. And it felt different. When I first got in there, though, we all know what changing room lights are like. And those mirrors are like. I went, what in the hell happened to my body? That
Yeah.
was my first reaction, and I was like, "No, wait a minute." I'm like, "None of this is truth." I'm standing in like 90 million other women's energies in this room that have
Mhm.
probably got in front of the same mirror and said the same damn thing. So I'm
Yes.
like,
Yes.
I'm not gonna own that. I'm not gonna take it on. I'm gonna look at myself objectively in these clothes as if I am having a relationship with the whole process. And I did. And I walked out with 4 things, and I brought them home and I tried them on. And when I was in the mirror at home, I was like, I didn't see the same version of myself that I even saw in that change room. Because instead of spiraling out where I normally would have, and I would have shoved the clothes away and not bought anything or got anything, I was like, no, I'm different, so I need to be different.
Hmm.
Right? And it's okay to have different clothing, and it's okay to look for things that maybe I wouldn't have gotten before.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yes.
I don't know about every other woman out there, but I mean, all of our heads are like, we're still 20. But then when we get into having to try on clothes, I'm like, I'm in midlife clothes now. I don't know what that looks like. This
Yeah.
is weird. So
Yeah.
then, but I'm like, but I guess I like it's trendy. I'm still trendy. I still look good. It's
Yeah.
just different than what my 20-year-old brain would have picked out. Does that right? I hope I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's a million other women that are doing it.
You're not. Or you're like me, who is like going to their girls' closets and be like, "Oh my god, I cannot wait. I'm gonna look so cute in this little croppy sweater with my leggings." And then fuck was I thinking?
Seriously, right?
Mom, are you really thinking about wearing my shirt? I was like, "Well, I was, but
Not
not anymore."
anymore. Seriously. Oh yeah, even I picked out some
Oh,
stuff yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, that's way too young for me now. Can't do
yeah.
it. Don't look right."
Yeah, so that's the thing, and that leads perfectly into the last symptom that I kind of, I mean,
Tell
there's been a
me.
gamut, was
Yeah.
the belly fat. As
Yes.
somebody who had never had any, like, I always had, like, some junk in the trunk. I was definitely very much um, almost to, like, a six-pack. Like, I always had a really flat
Damn.
stomach, and I was always, that was just the thing. It was just the way that I was made, and now I'm like, "Oof." There's some, like, I'm not used to this kinda jiggly, jiggly, hanging you over stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting used to it, but it's been a process of trying to, do I diet? And I don't diet. But you can't target. And so I know all of my background of fitness, and I know my background of nutrition. So I know what won't work, but it's been this evolution of me getting used to this plump, round section. Yeah.
Rounder. Well,
Yeah.
I've had that for a long time. I
Alexa,
was
stop.
I was
Okay.
s- I was super thin too. Um, just over time, stress, not having a relationship with my body, being at war with it all the time, it accumulated. So I don't know if you've tried this. You can tell me if you have or not. But the one thing that I find, and my body is because I'm in a relationship with my body, it's shifting so dramatically, being at war with it, that I'm actually shocked. Like, I'm actually surprised because my cortisol levels are not high. My stress levels aren't high about it. I've
Mm.
surrendered to it, who I am. And one of the things that I've started doing is, I think it's called 360-degree stomach vacuuming, diaphragmatic breathing. Have you tried that?
No, what is this?
Yeah. So it's learning how to breathe through your ribs, through your diaphragm, through your through your stomach, and then the process itself is actually like vacuuming in your stomach so that you like it's really cool because you can actually feel your deep core muscles actually come together and
Describe.
almost
Yeah.
like almost like zip up when you
Yeah.
do it. So I think I'm on week 4 of it, and if I didn't try on clothes, I wouldn't think that I changed any. But from even trying on my own clothes to the clothes that I tried on yesterday, I'm like, well, something's definitely changing. Like it's working for whatever it is. And I think one of the things that happens is when we get into high stress mode, which the running around that you do and all that stuff is high stress mode, we breathe up here during the day.
Yep.
Right from here to here we breathe,
Yeah.
where so we disengage our core from what I'm learning, right?
Yeah. You're
And
right.
our
Yes.
we forget about our core muscles in a way that is just about breathing. So, yeah, so look it up. I think it's called 360-degree stomach vacuuming. And it's a different way to diaphragmatic breathe, but it's a way to engage. And I have never had engaged core muscles my whole life. And
Yes.
I feel like my core is getting stronger and stronger and stronger by the day just by doing that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Hey, oh my gosh.
So try that.
I
And
will.
anybody
No,
else
I
out there, look it up, research it, try it. I don't know. Maybe it'll help you too.
I love that. Oh my
But
gosh.
don't
What a
don't do it to be at war with your body. Do it to be in
mm,
reverence with your body.
yes, and that's where
That's
we're
what
that's where we're working on and learning and really trying to sit in that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, if you've made it this far, stay curious, stay intuitive, and if you feel like you're in the oh Lord,
and and if you feel like you're a misfit, you
misfit,
probably are. Or a mystic, you
you're
probably
probably
are.
exactly where you're supposed to be. Okay, maybe
Thank
we should take
God.
two of that one.
What? Oh, I think it's all good. No, I don't think we should take 2 at all. We were just talking about brain farts. Guess what? We have them live on air. It's okay. It's totally good. Go
Oh
smash
my
the
god.
subscribe button.
Yeah.
Go like us. Comment some of the things that you're doing to help midlife. And you know what? Come back to us. Let's build a community. We love you. And thanks for being with us. Midlife with Mystics and Misfits. We'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Bye.